time to play the game.
Now be honest, Captain. Warrior to warrior. You do prefer it this way, don't you? As it was meant to be. No peace in our time. Once more unto the breach, dear friends.
When the Discord was set up for all of the alliances and leaders to come and discuss about the ceasefire, most of the other alliances sent their leaders and admirals. There wasn't a lot of chat between those. They were pretty easygoing and in agreement with anything that was suggested. As you can see from here, most of the chat is in relation to myself from HOM and some of the guys from ROG. If you need to obviously pause each screen to read it all, I'm not going to read it all to you, and so the video doesn't go for an hour, I'm just going to sort of make the screen grabs go a bit quicker. But by all means, just pause if you wish to read. But you'll see obviously a lot of back and forth, trying to nut out the deal for peace in the org event. And you'll also see, as time goes on, as the wheels start to fall off the negotiations, and then finally at the end you'll see when war has been declared. It's understandable that negotiating for a ceasefire is always a tricky thing. The HOM put out the olive branch to all the alliances to have their members open for all, including their leaders and admirals. Most of the other alliances did join. For whatever reason, ROG didn't send their admiral or leader. A couple of the other ROG members did join, but as negotiations went on, most of them were basically passing the buck to one individual who was obviously not online a lot, had real life issues, and stalling basically the negotiations, because whenever anything was agreed upon, nothing could progress until this person was able to either yay or nay it. Which was quite frustrating for every other alliance taking part, as everyone was already had agreed to whatever point, and we're just sitting there waiting for the last person to agree. And this pretty much sums it up in the end. So peace was out the window and the war was about to begin again. As with all org events, the main system is the Yada system, which has a few mines of high yielding results. At the time it was ROG that was holding these mines, so we had a little bit of fun. Every so often we would send through a little ship to try and sneak around and knock out a couple of miners if we could. Today, as you'll see from these videos, I'm employing a tactic that Ekon covered in one of his previous videos about entering a system that usually only has like one entry point and sort of sneaking in and scuttling around the perimeter of the system to sort of flank your opponent. If I can find that video again later, I'll link it in the description. You can have a look at it. It goes into it a bit more in depth. But as you can see in this one, I'm going to sneak around, trying to get into the back of the ROG blockade, I guess you can call it, to try and hit a few of the miners. This is sometimes successful, sometimes not, depending on how much the other team are paying attention. As you can see in this clip, the jig was up, I was found. Was able to have a little bit of fun before I got taken out, but that's not a drama. We will return again shortly to try again. bit of time has passed now. I'm going to try the same tactic again, but this time I'm going to go around the top end of the system. Again, the same sort of strategy: sneak in, hug the edge of the map, hopefully catch your opponent napping. A little bit more successful this time. I actually get around to the back, and they can see that they've will end up having a stockpile of miners just lined up, waiting for their turn to have a go at one of these mines. Sitting there, waiting for the mighty Burrell to come and do what it does best, and blow them up. So as you can see, I'm sneaking around, trying to maneuver. I do get alerted by the other team that I am there. As you can see, some of their ships start to come chasing me while I'm knocking out the others. But it's still a productive little thing. I get to take out a few of the ROG miners there, of Pinky and Helios and Rogers, Spindrift. And then when, of course, near the end, when Pinky takes me out, takes a couple of his ships to get the job done, but he does get it done eventually. But in the meantime, I've had a successful run, taking out about half a dozen of their ships. Now that the kids have stopped playing, it's time for the big boys to come in and show us how it's done. Now we can see that Phil Luc Picard is coming in, has his Enterprise there, and his brand new jellyfish. He's come into the system to kick some butt, show the ROG boys how it is done. As you can see him flying around, just hitting every ship that he comes across. At this time, he did try to uphold the ceasefire and not hit any of the miners that were under limit or not mining. However, I believe in the frenzy, he did hit one ship, which caused a lot of drama in the ceasefire discussions. Irrelevant, really, when you think of it, like the system was being cleared. At the end, you see that he does leave a ship there that is still mining under limit. And if the one was hit in the meantime, well, that was obviously just in the heat of the moment. But either way, short work is made of the ROG fleet when Phil is there with a head of steam, ready to clear them out. Coming up next, we have a little bit of fun with our good friend Spark taking on Chargina in another system. Becomes a little clip of a run Forest run. Now we missed the beginning of the clip where Spark sneaks into the system, and I think he took out one of Charge's miners that was sitting next to the Enterprise. The Enterprise was standing guard. And then it became a case of cat and mouse chasing around the system. The video's been sped up to speed it up, but the whole clip, I think even after this, it still went for another few minutes where it's just, they're just doing laps around the system where Spark was just continuing to run. Charge just kept chasing him, but of course Spark's salad was a bit too quick for the old Enterprise, and he's having a bit of fun too. You can see every so often he'll pull up and stop and catch his breath and let Charge catch up again and then take off again. A bit like the Road Runner and the Coyote from the old cartoons. The other day, Amorgin posted a similar video of ROG chasing him all around the system with some Benny Hill music going in the background. That was for a good laugh. I will post the link for that in the comments description below. You can watch that as well. But watching this clip, it sort of reminds me of a scene from a Star Trek movie where the heroes are being chased. I'm going to include that clip at the end for you to watch and have a laugh. But also in the comments, put down who you think would best be the ROG members if they were the people doing the chasing. You'll know what I mean when you watch it. You'll have a laugh. Anyway, my friends, it's time for me to sign off and go now. So as always, live long and prosper.
What the hell did you take? I have no idea, but they were bowing to it. Kirk to Shuttle 1. Locals are out of the kill zone. You're clear.